Welcome back to the show, and we welcome Yael Geffen, who is the CEO and shareholder of Lou Geffen Sotheby's International Realty. Welcome to our show, Yael, and let's kick off with why you are a lover of sloths, this big-time businesswoman and sloths. What's the connection?
Such a random fact. and everyone seems to hone in on that, not anything else. So thank you, Nikki. So grateful to be here. I'm a big fan of your work and your show. A lover of sloths. Okay, I think I admire them because they're so damn perseverant. I mean, they're so slow and yet they carry on. And it's my dream to actually go to the Amazon one day and see them. Apparently, they smell really badly and they cling and claw, but I don't care. I just see like the authenticity and the humanness in them. So it is a random fact, but.
Well, maybe it links to your affinity for being a mental health advocate, which you are. And I'd love you to unpack why mental health. Why is it such a big issue for you as an individual and for you in business?
So a little bit about my journey is that I lost my brother. He took his life nearly 13 years ago, actually, in September 6th. And I've lost a couple loved ones along the way. And I actually was diagnosed in my 20s with bipolar 2. And it's been a journey for me, but I realized that people don't discuss it. We discuss cancer, we discuss diabetes, there's no shame in that. But with mental health, there's such a stigma. So through my journey, I actually opened up to quite a few people that I've met along the way. Business leaders, philanthropists. And the irony is when I was authentic with them about how I was feeling, all these people opened up about their mental health challenges. And I thought to myself, why are we so afraid to talk about this? So it was my plight to change this perception from this challenge to us talking about it. And last week, on the 10th of September, was World Suicide Prevention Day. And it is in the spotlight, and I think you're right that a lot of people are confusing mental health and illness with just being stressed. There are two different scenarios there. So that's my journey, and I just want to reach out to people and help and reduce these statistics of suicide because it touches all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, it's touched all of us more now than ever before with COVID. We knew right at the beginning of COVID, I actually interviewed a psychologist who specializes in suicide, and she was just saying the mental health professions group were anticipating that suicides were going to rise during and after COVID. Some of it because of the stresses and strains of losing jobs and income and things like that. But a lot of incomplete grief. People couldn't mourn together socially. They had to mourn alone. Dealing with all of that, it's big stuff. And we can't leave that at home when we go to work, can we?
No, we can't. And to answer your second question, I realized a while ago, as a business leader, your people are your most important asset. It's not about the deliverables and the targets. If you don't focus on your people, you won't reach that anyway. So a key focus for me has been wanting to be an authentic leader and recognizing that we have our challenges and that it's okay to not be okay. And we don't have to be this perfect self all the time. In fact, in my sales career, the more I've opened up and been vulnerable and authentic, the more business I've gotten just because people trust you. People like doing business with people they trust. So I really admire Arianna Huffington, who started Thrive, and she started the sleep revolution. And for her, mental health and for her and her colleagues and employees is so important. And I've noticed when I nurture this, when I give my staff a mental health day, if they're going through stuff, it's okay because they come back stronger.
So you're not saying that you don't have to deliver at work because you have a mental health issue, but with support, you can still deliver.
Absolutely.
And with that openness and the vulnerability, you will be able to still manage your job, deliver what you have to do. because in your own words that I've heard you speak about before, you talk about the fact that your mess is your message. And what do you say, my brilliant burden?
Yeah.
And is that the kind of affirmation that you use with your staff?
Yes, and I've come to realize that I wouldn't be myself without myself. So without my mess, without my burdens, but instead of being embarrassed and carrying shame, there's a lot of positivity in what I experience. So when I'm manic, I'm on fire. I'm creative, I'm people-centric, I deliver things quickly, I'm on top of things. And then if there's the ebb and the flows, if I'm feeling a little bit down, I have to respect that, take some time out. So my burden is my brilliant burden, because I've been able to acknowledge this is part of me and to be the best version of myself versus what society expects of me. And my message is to actually encourage other leaders to step forward and say, hey, like Me Too, hey, #mental2, because the more we can reduce that stigma, the better we'll all be, the more well we'll all be as organizations, colleagues, employees, staff. And it's a big passion of mine.
So really, I hear you saying that you're encouraging people to embrace their whole self. And if that includes the burden of a mental health issue, it's part of who you are. So see it, understand it, learn about it, be aware and manage it, of course. Completely. Because there are ways to manage these things, but you have to make yourself supportable in the process. So you're doing amazing work. So talk about the connection there between authentic leadership, because that's your passion, is authentic leadership. How do you connect the dots there?
So when I kind of came out about my mental health, so to speak, I saw such a wonderful positive response, and I felt, oh wow, people don't judge you, and they also see a need, and people are struggling. So I've always been very real as a person, sometimes a little bit too real.
I was about to use that word. I think the word is real.
Real, yeah. And it's interesting, when you ask people, you do that 5x5 exercise and you do a lot of personal development, the word real and genuine and authentic kept coming up. And I thought, well, maybe this is my powerhouse. Maybe this is who I am. And I really think that people, when they are authentic, they are the best versions of themselves, because we are surrounded by so much social media where people are on display and where there's this fake it till you make it. And I believe you can make it without faking it. I don't think self-inflation is the way, but you can self-promote, and there's a difference between the two. And people enjoy and like authenticity. They want to feel like you are human, like you are open. They don't like it when you carry on going and self-inflating about yourself. But I've always been this way. So it came naturally for me, but I think my message is to inspire other business leaders, everyone in business, to be authentic, but also just to watch it. You don't want to air your dirty laundry to the universe, So there are tools and ways, and it's quite nice to get other people to vouch for you instead of self-inflating. That really is a skill.
Yeah, I love that. So I'm going to end this segment by really summing up that you need to name it to tame it.
I like that.
And you need to own it. Really owning everything about you. It is very empowering. So thank you for bringing that message of hope to us today. But stay with us, because Yael is staying with us too. We're going to be talking about her business expertise in the next segment, which is, of course, property. And it's a buyer's market right now, so listen in.